turn somewhere. I'm in Colorado now. No, that's just one of the detours here. Alright, how are you?
Good.
You don't mind? I think I got it a little on the clip a little bit.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay. So, not bad. I was hoping it was a shelter sign, but I was thinking if it is, it's undocumented. I'm going to continue up the trail, and I am anticipating finding a spot within the next 45 minutes. But I just couldn't resist that line. It was my first thought is Rocky Mountain. Boy, are we in the wrong place. Alright, thank you. Bye-bye. And I realized this would be a good time to explain why I chose the tent I chose. If I had to, I could fit my tent in here. It's a pretty level spot. There's a lump there, I know that. But I could just put it a little further back. I could get it to work. As where the duplex has which is a very nice tent, and it was almost a coin toss whether to get this one or the Pleximid. These are Z-Pack tents, if you want to know what I'm talking about. Go to their website and look up the duplex and the Pleximid. And the reason I got it is it would fit there. The duplex is a nicer tent. It's only 4 ounces more and $50 more, which when you're spending that much money for a tent is insignificant. The other thing is I'm less likely to have a partner in it with me because that's a 2-person tent. But it's nice because you got all that room, which still is nothing compared to a living room, believe me. But the Plexum is big enough. I can get all my equipment in there with myself, and I'm having good night's sleeps, and it's dry. The other day, when it rained all night, the inside of the tent stayed completely dry. It was perfect. The only problem was, and this was my fault, was the site selection was on dirt like this, and everyone knows what happens when you mix water and dirt. You get mud. So in the morning when I was packing it up, I was very impressed until I went ahead and picked it up, and the bottom was still wet out, and you can't get the mud off without a hose or something. So that was part of one of my, it was multifactorial, one of my data points for saying I'm going to take a 0 or in town, or a Nero I was hoping for, and I was able to take a shower with my tent, nasty bar, and wash my tent off. I could have gotten away without doing that, but I like a clean tent. So I got 2 things knocked out with that piece of video: the explanation on the tent finally, and the choice. You know, it was one of those decisions where the other one will look better most of the time. The choice you did not take. And now I think I'm near the top, although I look through the trees and you can kind of see a horizon that goes up. So I'm sure this is a tease and it's a false summit. And oh, those spots, those are the drainage spots. Here's another one. And that's why I'm pushing on, and I'm not that worried about it. If I don't find a good camping spot, these are adequate as long as you know it's not going to rain tonight. The trail is actually right at my doorstep. Let me see if I can walk back up to it so I shouldn't get lost in the morning. North goes that way, you can see the white blaze, and south goes that way, and you can't see anything. And those are the mountain ridges that, I don't know what they are, but they're over there to my left, which would be west, and this is to my right, which would be east, although the trail does not go dead on north and south. So anyhow, I found a spot. The only concern is this one tree here, which you can see there's a big gouge out of it, and it's not standing. It is standing, And it's got buds up there, so it's still alive. However, if I was expecting high winds or something, you know, a bad storm, I would probably not take this spot. But the other saving grace is I think it's going to fall that way. And I'm taking this spot over here. And I'm going to make sure I'm behind those two trees, which would buffer if it did fall that way. That's the plan anyhow. When I end up crushed in the morning, we'll find out that I was wrong. But I'm pretty confident that if it's still alive, the live parts will hold it up. Or at least until you get a good 40-mile-an-hour breeze, I think. Then it's in serious jeopardy. And I do see a few candidates for hanging my bear bag, and that makes me happy. And that's kind of what I look for in a site. The only deficit is, as you can see, if it were going to rain, there'd be a mud spot. As we're a little later on in the year, I think there'd be more tufts of grass or whatever. But also, I would try and find leaves or something and buffer the mud, but I don't know how effective that would be. Anyhow, this is where I'm going to sleep tonight. I'm about, well, more than a mile from the parking lot at Unicoi, and probably less than 2 miles. That's my guess. I haven't looked at the map. But I made it to the top of the hill, and that was nice, because it's less work tomorrow. And like I say, 6 o'clock gives me about, between 7:30 and 8, you still have usable light. So I've got an hour and a half. So I'm going to get going and get all my stuff done. Get the tent set up, get my food done. You know, there's a lot of little things. So, the evening chores. Bye-bye. So, I'm going to make this quick this time until I get some kind of indication whether or not it came out. Put the light behind the camera. And it's nighttime. It's still, you know, you could still have 5 minutes where you could do stuff outside if you had to. But it's going to be dark in 5 minutes. And I'm about more than a mile, because the water was a mile. So I'd say maybe a mile and a half. I'm at the top of the hill above Unicoi Gap heading north. And I'm going to go to sleep now. It was nice. I found a safe spot, or a stealth spot, that I'm all by myself. And I actually prefer it that way. Alrighty. Thank you. And good night. Turn this off with one hand. Difficult.